Good evening. This is Akashvani Kohima. I'm Jonas Yandan with Evening News. The headlines. Second session of the 14th Nagaland Legislative Assembly concludes. Nagaland Assembly passes resolution on Forest Conservation Amendment Act 2023. Select committee is set up to examine Nagaland Municipal Act 2023. And Vice President Jagdeep Dhankhar urges participation of all citizens in water conservation. Now the news in detail. The second session of the 14th Nagaland Legislative Assembly concluded today with the House being adjourned sine die till the next session. The three-day monsoon proceedings saw remarkable discussions on various issues pertaining to state affairs. During his valedictory address, Speaker Nagaland Legislative Assembly Sharingan Longama said, in the three-day sittings, apart from the question hour, the House could transact several other discussions of paramount importance to the state, including matters of urgent public importance, which required urgent attention of the government. He said though it was a brief sitting, the August House passed 5 bills and adopted 4 resolutions. He said the House could carry out all businesses successfully and thanked the members for showing keen interest and enthusiasm. He also expressed gratitude to all sections of the House for extending full cooperation to the Chair in conducting the business of the House. Longama hoped that all will continue to preserve this tradition. In the three-day sitting, bills passed include the Nagaland Motor Vehicles Tax Amendment Bill 2023, the Passengers and Goods Taxation Amendment Bill 2023, Northeast Christian University Second Amendment Bill 2023, the Nagaland Goods and Services Tax 7th Amendment Bill 2023, and the Nagaland Anatomy Bill 2023. While resolutions adopted include the Uniform Civil Code, Forest Conservation Amendment Act 2023, Prohibition of Employment as Manual Scavengers and Their Rehabilitation Act 2013, and the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences POCSO Amendment Act 2019, and the POCSO Rules 2020. The last day of the sittings also witnessed Chief Minister Rio laying a copy each of the amendment of Rule 50 and 51 of the Nagaland Staff Selection Board Regulations 2020 and report to the Comptroller and Auditor General of India on social, economic, general and revenue sectors for the year ended 31st March 2022. The 14th Nagaland Legislative Assembly today unanimously passed a resolution on the Forest Conservation Amendment Act 2023. The resolution moved by Minister Environment, Forest and Climate Change C.L. John was adopted by voice vote. The House resolved to explore various options, including the state enacting its own act for a compensatory mechanism wherein any diversion of even private or community-owned forest land for known forestry purposes and damage to environment is suitably compensated by the user agency in addition to availing benefits of existing central government schemes. The resolution stated that the Forest Conservation Amendment Act 2023 essentially deals with land and its resources. It introduces Section 1A.2, which exempts from the operation of the Principal Act forest lands within 100 kilometers along international borders, line of control or actual line of control proposed to be used for national strategic and security-related projects. The resolution stated that the exempted area of 100 kilometers will cover most parts of Nagaland, where ownership of most forest lands vests with tribal communities. It added that the House is of the view that the term land and its resources mentioned in Article 371A include forest lands and its resources, and that applying Section 1A.2 of the amended Act to Nagaland would jeopardize existing rights of tribal communities on their forest lands and its resources. Therefore, the 14th Assembly House resolved that the Forest Conservation Amendment Act 2023 will only be applicable to the state subject to the constitutional guarantees under Article 371A of the Indian Constitution. The House also resolved to seek assurance from central government that Section 1A.2 is not used to the detriment of the state and its people. Speaker of Nagaland Legislative Assembly, Sharingan Longama, has constituted a select committee to examine the Nagaland Municipal Act 2023. Chief Minister Nipirio on 12 September referred the Nagaland Municipal Act 2023 to the Select Committee for further review of the Act. The Speaker informed that the Select Committee would be headed by Deputy Chief Minister Tia Zeliang as convener, while Ministers Geichi Kene, P. Pawangkonyak, Jacob Zumomi, Mitsupo Jami and advisors Zalio Rio and Matang Yantan will be members, and NLA Secretary in charge Krohitonio Rio as Member Secretary. This news comes to you from Akashvani, Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on News On Air app and YouTube channel AIR News Kohima. Minister Health and Family Welfare Department Paiwang Konyak said during outbreaks of endemic or widespread illness, the Health Department considers it an emergency and fast-track necessary arrangements are carried out in observing protocols and mechanisms. He was responding to a question raised by MLA Achambemo Kikon during the 0 hour on dengue and conjunctivitis outbreak in Dimapur and Mon. Gonyak said the Health and Family Welfare Directorate is carrying out all protocols in Dimapur and Mon, besides closely monitoring and doing all things possible to help the patients. He suggested frequent meetings of district health societies wherein district administration and tribal bodies discuss prevailing health issues. The minister appealed to all citizens to maintain clean surroundings and asked the district administration and district health societies to sensitize the public and ensure mass cleanliness drives. MLA Kikon requested the Health Department to take urgent steps to rectify the health workers system and highlighted the need for increased health workers and a proper policy to tackle such outbreaks. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankhar has emphasized on the participation of every citizen in water conservation. He said that along with water management, people will also need to focus on optimal utilization of natural resources like water and electricity. Dhankhar said this after inaugurating the two-day international conference on dam safety in Jaipur today. The Vice President stressed on the need for conservation and redevelopment of small water bodies or water management and called for ending water disputes between states. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said the Indian model of combining welfare for the poor with modern development is gaining appreciation worldwide. Addressing a program while dedicating projects worth over 6,400 crore rupees in Chhattisgarh today, Modi emphasized that the country is aiming to become a developed nation within the next 25 years of the Amrit Kaal. He said this goal can only be achieved with the active participation of every citizen. Modi affirmed that the government's efforts to safeguard the environment and create opportunities for prosperity through forest resources will especially benefit indigenous tribal communities. The month-long celebration of Hindi Divas commenced at the Prasar Bharati Secretariat in New Delhi today. Prasar Bharati Chief Executive Officer Gaurav Dwivedi encouraged the use of simplified Hindi for better understanding and wider outreach. He also underlined the impact of Hindi film industry where it came to connecting people through the language. Prasar Bharati will organize various competitions during this month-long program. And now it's 20 news. Here are main points again. Second session of the 14th Nagaland Legislative Assembly concludes. Nagaland Assembly passes resolution on Forest Conservation Amendment Act 2023. Select committee is set up to examine Nagaland Municipal Act 2023. And Vice President Jagdeep Dhankhar urges participation of all citizens in water conservation. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.